Ika-san, Mose Iwo Etu. Omiyo Gallery, Day 121, Ojo Obatala. Day of Obatala, man in the white cloth. Now, they say the world belongs to the low and the slow. Who says this? I'm saying it now. What is friendship about, and what are bonds between people? Bonds between people is partly, I know how you're moving. I know how you're moving. This pleases me that I can synchronize with you. I would like to be moving a certain way when I talk to you, and I'll be pleased and happy that when I talk to you, this will happen. I sometimes think that I do not please this in any way whatsoever. However, I do facilitate realization, and already I can feel in the tone of my voice that's the sound of insecurity. I haven't done this, but I have done that. Why would you speak like this? I haven't done this, but I have done that. I grew up in a big white house with a flagstone floor with the like reddish brick colored tiles, quarry tiles they're called. They're like clay. They're like a clay pot that a plant goes in, like an orangey color clay pot. They're that color, but they're tiles, and you sweep them with the broom, and sometimes you mop them with the mop. They're like the red palm oil, and then they're wet and glossy for a little while, not for very long, and then they dry out again, and they're cold to the touch. So your feet step on those tiles and it's cold. But we used to wear shoes in the house, but not all the time. So sometimes you'd be barefoot on those cold tiles, and then you put your shoes on and be shoes on the tiles, or be shoes outside the house and on the crunchy gravel, and all the way down to the garden, and then the wet through the grass and down to the bottom of the vegetable garden, and up again maybe after eating some strawberries or carrying something. It's a long hill. And come home. Sometimes you'd be no shoes inside, no shoes outside, no shoes across the gravel, because you feel like it. No shoes next to the chicken run to give them a peck of a leaf. No shoes. How far did I ever go with no shoes? Did I go onto the wet grass and then the sheep field with no shoes? Probably, because I hated my sisters and loved the countryside. But the apologeticness is that, what is it? We want to find what it is. The apologeticness is when someone says to you, "What have you done today?" You go, "Oh, no, not much." You either don't want to say it, or you haven't done anything. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say, "Today I have performed this. But also I would probably also not have done anything." But my reason on not done anything is like being on call for a job that's not yours. So when I was growing up in that big white house with the tile floor, if the phone rang, I had to answer it. I had to answer it, take a message, write it down. I had to be ready to answer it for my father's business. And also, if a person knocked at the door, I must answer it. Be nice, make them a cup of tea, make them coffee. You have to answer it. My house was not a cafe, but it may as well have been. So tell me now, what can you start to do if your brain goes, if this happened, I have to answer it with this sequence of action? One time I was drawing at the table. I'd set up a nice little flowers and still life, delicate drawing, because I'm an artist by trade. And there was a knock at the door, and it was a man with a big frozen lamb, a whole animal, a skinned animal, and he plonked it on the table, in the middle of the table, right next to my still life. Dead animal. Just bring this round, and it was, this is for your family because your family gave me a pile of wood logs, and this is my trade item back. I'm not expecting this. Wham. Meh, I say. So, what do you do when you're sitting expecting a small little task? I am waiting to stand up and arrive at the notepad. Let's do it. And write something down. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Hello, 305, hello. No, he's not here at the moment. Can I take a message? I went to see it about my tree 3 weeks ago. No. Write it down. And you go, okay, good, full stop. I'll tell him when he gets home later. Now what do I do? Sit back down. Now I feel. You feel, right? That apprehension feeling. I don't like it. So, does Obatala have that apprehension feeling? Let's find out. Obatala, Obatala, Obatala. I'm here to offer to you the message of who is it? The message of where are they? What do they want? It comes together. Where are they? What do they want? And this is because maybe of attachment and dependence. So when I hear their voice, they're part of me, their intention comes to me. So what is intention, Obatala? If someone puts down the phone and has something unresolved, what is it now? What is cause? Cause is that is unavoidable. That is unavoidable. Because there is a list of things and there is a sequence of action. And some people move slow. And some people move fast. And 150 people will not all get that action. 2 people will get it. How do we not find fear on this Obatala? How do we find reason? How do we find ourselves? What is selfish, Obatala? What is consent, Obatala? What is worth disruption, Obatala? What is preservation, Obatala? For what would you stain your robes, Obatala? Because when there is a stain on the left-hand side of your robe from some task you did do, and then you walk past 400 people, do they all now worry? What happened to Obatala? Is he okay? What happened? Anxiety. So, Obatala, take anxiety. Obatala, take action from me. Obatala, learn. Obatala, teach. To not touch what is beyond my reach. Obatala, watch as I pluck the leaves. Obatala, someone else trims the trees. Obatala, help me. Obatala, say, like the Shay, I say. Let's see. So, in a real Ifa community, Obatala will be teaching me, but I am teaching Obatala, and it's made my shoulder hurt, strangely, because someone has to do the talking. Someone has to be teacher. And that's my lesson. I wrote a little bit about Jonathan the tortoise. There's an old tortoise that's alive, and this tortoise is 193 years old. And something about the movement of that tortoise teaches people things. Like, it must be teaching people things. Anything that moves slow is teaching people things. So, if you have like a mountain that's being eroded, it's changing just at the rate of the ideas in your life changing. It's like shrubby and trees grow on it, and it changes its form just a little, but still the same silhouette. But it has to change with you, because you change, you know? You'd feel strange if something was going on in your life and then 3 months later the mountain looks the same. So it has to nuance like this. It's the same and not the same, you know? And the same with the folds of now some white cloth. They wave and they move. They're never the same, but it is the same. It's alive. It's alive. And when we do Ibo to Orisa, so you have a carved wooden deity of your Orisha, your venerated ancestor figure, and you spit like food or drink or place the right colored foods in front of them for the element, for what they like, for where they're from and what they're doing. It's to make sure, and with the aroma and smell as well, that it's alive, because you must consult that which is alive. The closed door. And I have yet to solve this with being a spiritual teacher. I'm going to say this right now, because I have yet to solve it. How to be alive but not too alive. Many people would say be yourself. It doesn't work. That doesn't work for me. And look at you keep going. Because That's what people say at therapists, right? That doesn't work for me. Just be yourself doesn't work. What about just be yourself out of one of 20 categories? Don't like that, that's restricting. What about just be the self you see and love? How about that one? Just be the self you see and love. I say, your ear to signing out.